Well, thank you so much, Fundo, and to our SABC News viewers. Of course, we're coming to hear from our studios at UNISA, and of course, giving you rolling coverage of the first day of the National Convention. Of course, what's happening now is that delegates have actually broken for lunch, and of course, when they come back from lunch, we will then see them being broken into those groups. Remember, there are various themes that need to be discussed, and they'll be taking part of that conversation. But Mfunda, as the SABC News team, we've also brought in, our digital team who have been interacting with South Africans on social media. Remember, you're more than welcome to interact with us on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok as well. Let us know what your sentiments are. Let us know what your inputs are, because remember, the whole gist of this is that the national dialogue is a process that should be citizens-led by South Africans and by, ordinary people from all quarters of life, like the president had actually, reiterated. And we bring in Nombulelo Mokoakoa. Nombu, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, you are here interacting with people, not only on online, on social media, but of course, throughout the corridors of the National Convention. What have people been saying? What have you been picking up on? I know that some people are for it, and some people also against it.
Thank you, Natasha, for having me. From what we've seen so far, people are so excited to be here. Some of them are here to see if the dialogue is going to be successful or not. But from what I've seen, some people are for it, and some people are just here to voice their issues out. And it's been buzzing. It's been nice. Yes.
I want you to take us through the tweets. Okay. You've got your phone there. If you could just open up X. What are people saying to you on X? What are people saying to you on other social media platforms?
So when you go on social media, okay, let's start with X. This is what you type in so that you can see what's happening. You just go hashtag National Dialogue ZA. So we go to our first tweet by Sutu Dudu. She says, the elite in pricey suits and polished pencil skirts sip tea inside staging a national dialogue, while the real South Africans are outside protesting. A sham gathering for the privilege, pretending to speak for the nation they won't even face. I mean, it's so funny that this is the first post that I'm reading, because we had a protest outside by Khoisan people. They were complaining that they were not even invited to the national dialogue. They've been excluded from this entire dialogue because they wanted to voice out their issues as well. Yes.
And I remember our colleague in the Northern Cape, Ulrich Hendrik, also ventilated that. He covered a package where Khoisan leaders also there. But I think other issues as well. You talk about the protest that actually happened outside. Can you also focus on that? It wasn't only the Khoi and San that came up. We spoke to the like of Peter from the Gauteng Crisis, committee, saying that they were not involved even before coming to the national dialogue. Those sectoral meetings happened wherever they happened. They want people, or they want to be involved in this process. Do you think it is citizens-led? Do you perhaps also think that maybe somebody will actually go outside and hear what they have to say?
Yes, I feel like this because people have been speaking over the social media. They've been saying that they've had multiple numbers of dialogues, be it protests, be it imbizos. People are just saying that what is the national dialogue going to do for them? Because the protests that they've had in the past have not been solved. There have not been outcomes as to how is the service delivery going to be solved? How is the issue of GBV going to be solved? So what is the national dialogue going to do for them if the previous protests have never been solved? Yes.
And Nombulelo, talk us through the trends. What is trending currently? You're a guru in that aspect.
Of course, okay. People must boycott this thing. Okay, this post is from Kosi 1999. It's from X. People must boycott this thing. The poor of the poorest are not in attendance. What will happen after talking? Will those who go to bed hungry get food? Will those 25 million people get employed after talking? Early elections, an answer to our problems.
And Lelo, also going back to the protest outside, what you get from some people is that they don't know where to make their inputs, right? Yes, coming from this national dialogue, there'll then be sectorial meetings in the various wards, the 4,468 wards across the country, right? Themes will be decided upon. There's going to be a secretariat that will be then appointed to actually, take this process forward. But perhaps for those who don't know, who are sitting at home and saying, listen, we also want to be a part of the process, please tell them how they could be a part of the process. But also, we are also there as members of the media and as the SABC to ensure that we are that buffer, between people that are here today and them, to ensure that their views are also ventilated. Just tell us, perhaps for Wako Alexandra, or how can I participate?
From my own point of view, I don't think you need to necessarily be part of political party or anything of that sort. Ne? Be a citizen. You can even voice out your issues on social media. That's how you become part of this national convention. We've been speaking of course, we've had elections last year and people have been voicing out what the crises of the country are. So that only on its own, it shows that this thing is citizen-led, because people have come together to say we don't want the national dialogue. It shows that people are coming together as citizens. So I feel like, maybe people feel like they're not involved, but maybe in some way they can voice out their issues on social media, especially via these news outlets like us, SABC. Contact us, speak to other news outlets, and we'll put your voice out there.
Lelo, thank you so much. Mfundo, that was Nombulelo Mokoakoa, part of our digital team. She's a better mind. Of course, she'll also be here tomorrow and throughout the rest of the day, just monitoring the trends that we are seeing on social media. Of course, because this is dubbed and labeled as a citizen-led process, please do engage with us as SABC News on our social media platforms, all social media platforms. Tell us what you're thinking. Nombulelo raises an important point to say you actually engaging and engaging with us as members of the media, you also spark and you're becoming part of the conversation. I'm reminded by President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that have these conversations in churches, have these conversations in schools, make sure that you're part of this process. Do not be left out. The conversations that you have in taxis, in restaurants, at home, at church even, make sure that you are a part of this process so that South Africans can actually take this process further. And of course, we are still here throughout the rest of the day. We'll be engaging with various people, not only from the eminent persons group, not only from the organizing committees here, but of course, ordinary people on the ground. And we do look forward to actually, engaging you and interacting with you on social media, on X. I'm there as well. Please do send me a message. I'd like to know what you're actually thinking. But for now, Mfundo, let's just park it here and cross back to you in studio.
All right, thank you very much, Natasha. That's SABC News reporter Natasha, who's at the convention, officially having been kicked off or started by the president as day one. And of course, making an important point that as the public broadcaster, we remain the conduit that will connect you to your leaders. So most certainly an important platform, whether you interact with us on social media. There are, of course, other platforms where it can be WhatsApps, to just share your views as we continue to shape or chart the way forward, as many have stated, to build a better South Africa for all. Now,